Not everybody can afford a flagship smartphone, so if you can't get a 2-year contract or if you need to buy something unlocked, it's very difficult for you to spend $650 to $750 to buy a flagship smartphone, especially without a 2-year contract. We're definitely seeing a shift here, for more manufacturers are putting an emphasis on affordable devices and making more of them. The problem with affordable is it never went together with performance, but today I'm going to be looking at 3 budget devices that perform extremely well at their price points. Let's take a look. The first phone we're going to look at is the Nokia Lumia 520 or the 521, which is the T-Mobile variant here, and the price point is amazing at just $59, and this is unlocked without a contract. I've actually seen this phone even cheaper, sometimes 40 bucks. I mean, it's just incredible that for that price you can get a fully functional smartphone. For the price, the specifications are actually amazing. It comes with a 4-inch IPS display, and even though it's WVGA, so it doesn't have high resolution, actually the screen looks pretty good. It's a little bit dull in sunlight, but it definitely does the job. This phone runs Windows Phone 8, which is very snappy even with lower specifications, so you won't have problems with performance here. Don't let the dual-core processor and the 512 megabytes of RAM scare you at all. This is a perfect first-time phone, prepaid phone, because it does everything that you need a phone to do. It texts well, it makes good phone calls, it takes pictures, and it has data connectivity. It is limited to HSPA+, but at this price point, that's expected. What's nice is there is a dedicated camera button to wake that 5-megapixel camera that is on the back, and it's also capable of taking 720p HD video. It's not 1080p, and the video quality and the picture quality is not the greatest, but it will definitely do for Instagram, Facebook, and all your social stuff. You would expect this thing to feel extremely cheap at this price point, but it actually feels pretty solid. It's a little bit thick in the hand, but I really like the matte polycarbonate finish that is on the back. It is extremely lightweight and it feels comfortable in the hand, very manageable. While the apps are somewhat limiting, the Windows Phone 8 platform is very easy to use. There's not a whole lot in the menus here, so if you're an inexperienced smartphone user, then this might be your best bet. This phone even features the ability for you to remove the back cover, and you can also put different colors on it because they are available, and it exposes the battery. So even if the battery life's not that great on this phone, you can replace the battery on this phone and carry an extra one with you. Even features an SD card slot for expansion. So in this price point, this is a fantastic device. Up next, we're going to look at the Motorola Moto G, and the price points kind of fluctuate here, so let's talk about it a little bit. If you go to a carrier such as Verizon, you're going to pay $99, and some prepaid as well. But if you want to buy it GSM unlocked, it is $179 for the 8GB model and $199 for the 16GB model. Prices may vary at the time that you're watching this video, but the Moto G looks a lot like the Moto X, their flagship phone at this time. They carried over the look and feel of the Moto X, so even in this cheaper price point, you're going to get that nice build quality that Motorola is known for. It carries over the 3.5mm headphone jack up top with the secondary noise cancelling microphone. It has that nice curvature on the back, a power button, and the volume rockers on the opposite side. It even has that nice little dimple there that gives you a great reference point of where your fingers are when you're holding this device. So to the untrained eye, or if you didn't know about the Moto X, then you may not even be able to tell the difference. You can remove the back cover on the Moto G, but it's not exactly what you would expect. There's no battery removal or there's no SD card slot. It's for you to actually buy different shells and have customization. Like here, there's a white shell. You can turn it into many different colors that are available. The Moto G also features a water-resistant coating that is on there, and it's only good for splashes though, so don't try to dunk this in the water. What's awesome about the Moto G is it has great specifications. It has a 4.5-inch 720p HD display, and it's a great display, by the way. You would think that at this price point that display would be gross and it'd just be washed out. That is not the case in the Moto G. It's powered by a quad-core Snapdragon 400 processor with 1GB of RAM and the very capable Adreno 305 GPU. All that technical stuff aside, what that means is you get a very smooth experience on the Moto G. It is running basically a stock version of Android, and it even has the latest version of Android, Android 4.4.2. Updates have been very regular with this phone, and the everyday usage is fantastic, so you wouldn't even know that you're on a budget phone because it just performs that good, trust me. All your Google services are here, like Google Now, and it's just very snappy, and I definitely recommend this if you're looking for a cheaper handset. The phone quality is good as well, but the only thing that you're lacking is LTE connectivity. You are stuck with HSPA Plus on T-Mobile or AT&T in the United States. I have not tested this for other carriers such as Verizon or the prepaid, but they should all perform the same, and even video gaming on here is very decent. Look, it's playing Dead Trigger 2 without a problem. I love the size of the Moto G, for it's not too small that you can't watch multimedia on this, because watching YouTube videos, catching up on TV shows, it looked good, and once again, this screen is phenomenal for this price point. It even comes with a 5 megapixel camera with LED flash on the back, and it does have some simplistic software. It doesn't take the best photographs or the best video. It does take HD video, but not at 1080p, and it does have a flash though, so I think that for most people, this camera will definitely be good enough, especially for social media and just your regular pictures and videos. I think the Moto G is perfect for people that want a little bit higher specifications and good performance, and if you like stock Android, then this is definitely going to be the phone for you with a few minor quirks. The final phone on my list is the LG Google Nexus 5, and this is sold directly from Google, and it's manufactured by LG, and it's a little bit pricier at this price point, $349 for the 16GB model and $399 for the 32GB models. But you have to think about this is with no contract, so most phones these days, flagship wise, cost $200 or $300 on contract. Even at this price point, the Nexus 5 features high-end specifications, including a high-quality 1080p display at 5 inches and the super-fast Snapdragon 800 processor, which you will find in your leading flagship smartphones. It also includes 4G LTE connectivity for AT&T, T-Mobile, and also Sprint. The software is pure Android, so it doesn't have any kind of skins on it at all, and the updates come immediately to the Nexus lines, and it's running the latest Android 4.4.2. That is what's great about the Nexus lines, is when the new Google software comes out, presumably Android 5.0, it will get pushed to the Nexus. Viewing multimedia is a great experience on the Nexus 5 due to its bright and great looking 1080p display. Now the one thing that you might notice is that the speaker is not that loud, but it will definitely do since it's just a single speaker. And it does have great phone call quality, which I noticed on both AT&T and T-Mobile, and the connection is great. And a lot of people might have a little problem with the battery life because it doesn't have the biggest battery, but it will definitely do. And it also features wireless charging that's built into the phone, unlike some of the other flagship phones out there. The Nexus is not new, but now it's available in this cool bright red color that is available for the same price. If you are a Google fan, then the Nexus 5 is the best Google experience you can get on any phone, because this is exactly how Google intended you to use Android. Now, there are some small quirks about stock Android, but the interface is so fast and so snappy, there's hardly any lags at all on the Nexus. Performance is extremely important to me if I'm buying a new phone, and this phone will not disappoint. The only problem for some might be the storage, since it only comes in 16GB or 32GB without an SD card slot, but that is something you need to know before you buy this phone. Now, if you're a gamer, you're also not going to be disappointed, because the Adreno 330 graphics chip is fast enough to play any game that's out on the market right now very smoothly, and as you can see, Dead Trigger 2 is no match for the Nexus 5 or any of the games that are out there. So if you're a gamer, you will love this phone. Of course, this is the most expensive one out of the three, but rightfully so, because it has the highest specifications. It even features an 8 megapixel camera that has decent quality, and also it shoots 1080p video. But think about this, if you're going to spend $200 on a phone on a 2-year contract, you can buy this phone for $350 with no contract, and your performance is going to be very similar or even better. So that is the Nexus 5. Now, many of you will disagree and say the Motorola Moto X should have been on there instead of the Nexus 5. And I wouldn't blame you, because the Moto X is a fantastic phone in that same price range from $300 to $400. The Moto X was one of my favorite phones of last year because it really does have one of the best user experiences on a smartphone. So if you wanted to replace the Nexus in this top 3, I wouldn't blame you, but the reason why I picked the Nexus is because I think it has a better price to performance ratio, and it definitely has a little bit more future proofing when it comes to the software, in my opinion. So if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comment section below. Alright, well that does it for me in the top 3 budget phones. I know that the last one wasn't quite budget, but it is if you think about it. I don't think you can go wrong with any of these phones, but they're definitely different in their own way. So let me know what your favorite phone is down below, and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any more videos like this. And if you want me to continue this series, then give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video.